Welcome to Breaking Barriers. You know your path. We know the obstacles, and we can teach you how to tear them down. And now your host, CEO and founder of Adapting Social, John Vigero.
Welcome back to Breaking Barriers. I'm very excited today. We have Paula with us. Paula, for people who are saying, who is Paula? What does she do? Can you please introduce yourself? Give us a quick high level of who you are and what you're after here. You have a big mission, and I'm really excited for you guys to hear Paula and her story and her journey and what she's doing here.
Sure. So thank you for having me today. I'm so excited. My name is Paula Schwarz. I'm half Greek and half German, and I run an incubator for projects that are related to mass migration. So we help refugees build up their own businesses, essentially, but we focus on problems that are related to mass migration. So 180 million people are moving around the globe as we speak, which is a big market as well. And I'm in that field of venture capital where people actually try to produce solutions to problems that can save lives rather than to just put a product on the market that's not as important for survival, I guess. And for example, we created something like an Uber for refugees, because normally when you don't have an identity, then you cannot book an Uber. We've been heavily involved in crypto and in blockchain technology with identification systems. And right now we have 60 projects of refugees that we're incubating. We work a lot with investors from Google. You know that 12,000 people were just laid off. So we're very excited to have a growing network of investors and players who are ramping up our knowledge base as well.
Yeah. So first off, I just want to applaud you and give you so much respect. It's like we've worked with so many incubators and entrepreneurs, and yours is so different, right? To help people who are in that migration. It's not an easy place to be. And you shared a story with Jamie and I about your journey and obviously the things that were happening that you saw and you wanted to make a change and impact. And I love that your business is obviously about helping build other businesses to make that impact in migration and in that world. It's such an incredible thing. How did you get involved? So obviously, you're an entrepreneur, right? You're putting the puzzles together, you're getting these people together, you're building funding and VC. What was your first time that you realized that you wanted to be, and start something on your own, right? And not go work for somebody or, just get a job somewhere. What was it for you that made you get that entrepreneurship bug? And what was that first journey like for you?
Yeah, so I come from a very privileged background. As I said, I'm half German and half Greek, and I always felt like I was the white girl that was more privileged than other people. My father is an investor already, and so I grew up with this idea of venture capital. He was invested in different funds, and I also studied finance at Stanford. I paired that with political sciences in Berlin. So I have a degree from Stanford and from the Free University of Thoughts in Berlin, which is the first university in Germany to introduce things like political sciences. So that was pretty cool to study that. And because we moved around a lot when I was younger, I went to 14 schools in total.
Wow.
Yeah, so in general, I'm just a very mobile person and grew up with venture capital, as I mentioned. Mm-hmm. And then I also told you that I'm Greek. When the Syrian refugee crisis hit Greece, right, I was actually at home and I was chilling out with my friends. And it was a coincidence that I'm best friends with the former CEO of the Lufthansa Innovation Hub. And I had some people from McKinsey at my house and some other venture capitalists, some coders from Facebook. And so in the beginning, we just rented a boat because we wanted to hang out on a boat, very summer style Greece, like the typical scenery that you want to have on your Instagram account, probably. Nice. And then suddenly there were so many half dead bodies in the water, And when that actually began, I had just come back from a project from Africa, because I was hired by the German government to build startups in Africa on a bus, with the thing called the startup bus. And so we actually also won that competition with my team. And right after that, I was like, hell, guys, I'm just going to go and chill out at home with homies on an island. And so that's how the startup boat actually began,
Wow.
to bring investors together, to build stuff up together with refugees. And because we scaled to 15 million users plus on our platforms that we built in the first couple of months, we very quickly realized that we need a process behind it. Like we need an incubation program. And the way that that works now is basically that teams who are working on a project, when they come together on a boat, because there's like physical meeting sessions usually between people, and then we connect them to the right investors. And so when they have their prototype, they join this mobile online incubator, and there we can see the KPIs that they're supposed to hit. So that's the key performance indicators, like how many users do you have, how many things do you maybe want to sell, if you're selling anything physical for identity systems, as an example.
Right.
And that way I can show our investors that we're actually hitting the goals that we're supposed to be hitting, us being the teams that I support. And so I also invest into the projects, but I have like a very big community of people who are also supporting together with me. And so that's how it's venture capital. It's talking about a market of users for a project. So and you basically look at projects growing. And yeah, I think it's very important for the United States, for example, right now also to have different minorities working together on problems.
Right.
There's a lot of people from Nicaragua coming, from Venezuela, and they don't know the right people here. And there's a lot of investors in the US, a lot of problems that need solutions. And I believe that we can really make a difference there.
That's amazing. And so with your like diverse background of going to such an amazing prestigious school like Stanford, and surrounding yourself, obviously, with someone like your dad who's an investor, and all that stuff. What would you say? Did you learn more in college at Stanford, or being around the people that you've met through your own connections or family? Where did you learn the most about what you're doing in this incubator?
So I think a school of life is really important. There's tons of people who are amazing, who started off as refugees and built incredible businesses. I think the last COVID vaccine was actually created by a Syrian refugee as well, who then found a European investor, and they scaled big time. So I think or Albert Einstein was a refugee as well. Just to make you understand, like, I think a lot of power comes from being able to survive. And
Yeah.
for definitely like moving 14 times was inspiring. It was very challenging. And I do have to say that, I acknowledge my privilege. I'm really grateful that I was allowed to go to Stanford. And it's just not something that I can neglect. I can also not neglect the fact that I have all these contacts
Yeah.
that I've had ever since I was born. And it's for me heartbreaking to look at people sometimes who, come from a different background, and people just don't listen to them as much as they listen to me, because I carry a German name, or because I look differently, or I come from a certain family. So that's just something that is not accessible to other people that way. And I find that very, very sad. So I would say that I'd say that it depends on you as a person, what you make out of your skill sets,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
There's
School,
also, yeah.
right? The school of life, as you called it.
Yeah, I guess there's people who have a lot of opportunities in life, and they don't really make much of it. And then there's people who really want a lot from life, and they go very far. And it depends on you at the end of the day.
I love
So
that. 100% in your control. So where do you see your incubator going in the next 5 to 10 years?
So there's a lot of family office gatherings now where people want to talk about the new opportunities that are coming up. Family offices are private investors, usually, where you have an older generation and then you have a younger generation. And we're working a lot with these networks of family offices because they're kind of lost in translation. You know, the younger generation wants to do blockchain and crypto. The older generation doesn't want to go so heavily into tech. And right now on the stock market as well, or on the global business market, you just have very weird developments around technology. You know, like the Facebook price fell on the stock market massively. Then you have TikTok having amalgamated as much value as YouTube in a very short period of time. And so I think that we're going to be working very closely with these family office networks in order to explain a little bit what's happening. Because we're setting up the Startup Boat Incubator in different regions, also in China, in places like Bangladesh. And there are just a lot of opportunities coming out of these regions. And it could be that we merge at some point with a large family business network, so that we say, I don't know if I can imagine selling this at one point to a big network of family offices, so that I can say I'm joining a bigger table there to make more space for people who want more opportunities, you know, to maybe help refugees create family offices faster and in an easier way. And maybe try and get into visa processes for international business owners, because right now it's really hard also to do your taxes if you're let's say if you just came to the United States, right? And to open a bank account. So maybe I could imagine merging the Startup Boat Incubator with the Family Business Network in order to try and open up more opportunities. I could see that.
That's amazing. I love your tenacity in wanting to help and just provide that opportunity, like you said, for people who, you know, want to level it up and do what they want to do in this space. And so where do you find your biggest source?
The other thing, just to stay in line with what I do, is to say, you know, if we hit certain benchmarks, if we say we create so and so many tens or hundreds of projects a year that could scale very much, you know, if we have certain projects that we even sell or that just grow incredibly, then I think we should focus on what we do best, being to look at our key performance indicators and say how many projects do we want to grow in order to be able to go to the stock market ourselves. Because if we're at some point, like there's 193 countries around the globe, if we're, let's say, in 120 countries and we set up 60 new projects a year at least in each country, then that's a lot of projects, you know, and it's a lot of people who are involved. And at a time where we're all going through this Fridays for Future movement, and people were going on the streets and they were demonstrating against things. Now we're at a point where we want to demonstrate for something, I believe, and people want to build solutions. So I could imagine bringing Startup Boat to the stock market to do an initial public offering and to say we're just going to continue with growing projects, with bringing people together in these sessions so that they create prototypes for social challenges that need to be solved through solutions, and then we help them grow that through this online incubator. And together with the team that we have, I see it as very, very possible to keep that going. So one is the exit and the other one is the IPO.
Wow, that's really cool. And most people dream of making that happen. Obviously, you're working towards it. You're building that. You're making it a reality. That's so insanely epic. Where are you right now? Looks like you have palm trees or beautiful trees behind you. Where are you right now?
I'm right now in Miami. Um,
There you go.
yeah, we have Hack Week coming up here, and a lot of people are moving to Miami because they've been let go of by their tech employers, and yeah, I'm preparing the startup boat for Hack Week in Miami.
Yeah. You're
That's
beautiful Miami. Are you a beach person? Are you somebody who's going to be going to the beach, or what type? What is your vibe out there?
I'm a beach person, I guess. I'm very much a nature person, and I mean, personally, I'm in my 8th month of pregnancy right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. I try not to make a big deal out of it because I'm also working full time, and you know, some people are afraid to work with a pregnant lady. So, but yeah, I'm currently just scaling everything, to be honest. You know, like we're getting a lot of partners in, we're getting a lot of attention in, and I spend my time meditating, looking at the trees, and then just closing deals with amazing partners, investors, and couldn't be happier about it. And I'm excited about Miami Hack Week. Yeah, right now there's a flooding period in Bangladesh, which means that 80 million people who are in Bangladesh, half of them are migrating to half of the country. So
Wow.
half of the country is like flooded.
Right.
And so that's also like 40 million people who are refugees there, right? And we have a big team of coordinators of Startup Boat on the ground, and they're currently developing the projects with the entrepreneurs. So I'm just I guess living in the metaverse right now. Yeah.
Do you know what you're having, a boy or a girl?
I'm having a girl. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. My wife and I just had a son.
Oh, nice. How
Yeah.
old is he?
So I would say, so he is about to be a month and a half.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
In the early stages.
Yeah. Going on almost 2 months. So very early stages. Yeah. So
Wow.
congratulations to you. And I hope you have a smooth labor.
Thanks.
That's very exciting. And so what are some things that so now let's talk about this as we get towards the end here. You know, legacy is a very big thing, right? And so
But my last labor was only 20 minutes, so I'm not
no
scared.
way.
Yeah. Like,
Yes.
yeah. So like I'm just a working mom. I love giving life and working.
I love it. So wait, how many kids do you have?
I have 2.
Okay, so wow, that's beautiful. 20 minutes. My wife had a 38-hour labor.
Wow. Yeah, and my husband is actually an investor in SpaceX, and he's like very deeply connected in the Miami tech sphere. So that's why he supports me very much in everything that I do. And yeah, so
Very cool.
It's good.
So what's the legacy that you want to leave behind for your kids? Like, what do you want your kids to remember you by?
I would like my children to remember that it's important to have fun in life, like not to go for a job because of your ego or because you want to work for a big family like where I come from, or for a big company like Google. But it's really important to meet amazing people and to meet them where they are and to see in them the best that they can be, and to really understand that you have the resources in your network, because my kids will also grow up in a certain network that is very privileged because people are so smart and we're allowed to do so many crazy things. And so I would like them to be ambassadors of the great lifestyle that we have, you know, and to share that with others and to constantly gain from others also the positivity that they can give, you know, like what do they want to bring to the table. And the solutions that we grow with Startup Boat are exactly that. It's knowledge that normally I wouldn't have. It's problem statements that I, in the beginning, know nothing about. And I just want to learn from other people. And I want my kids to stay open-minded, and to go with time, you know, because I see so many family offices, as I mentioned, that are divided between the old generation and the young generation. And I want my kids to be present in life and to be an active part of the solution in society, and to have fun. That would be great.
That's all extremely great things that obviously you want to have left behind, or the mindset they can have left behind. I love have fun and make an impact in society. Like, that's really cool. It's really awesome. Okay, so we're getting close to the end here. So I have one last question before I'm going to have you plug, where people can find you on social, the website, everything. Has there been any quotes or adages that you've heard over the years that makes you think about perseverance and getting through tough times that have really resonated with you? It could be a Paula, original. It could be something you heard from your family. Like, what's a good quote that you've heard that really resonates with you when it comes to adversity and overcoming it?
So I have a Tai Chi master, and he constantly gives me amazing advice. One thing is that he says that life is a struggle. So when you're born, you basically come to the world, you're full of blood or whatever, it's cold, and suffering starts really early in life. Also, no matter how much money you have in the beginning, nature sucks a bit, right? And then also growing up is like difficult, and at the end of the day, like, no matter which path you choose, life is always going to be a little bit of a struggle, but it's about if you want to grow through life or if you want to suffer through life and feel like the victim. You can master a situation, or you can victimize yourself. And then he also says that I should imagine life like a mountain that you see from afar. It's beautiful, but then as you go closer to the mountain, it's actually a lot about survival. What looks so beautiful from far away is survival from close by. Because life is about the struggle, essentially, and what you make of it. And I remember that a lot, to think, okay, the journey is going to be tough, no matter if I do something, if I don't do something. I have to work on my time on earth, and I also need to be careful, because as much as there are good forces out there, there's also bad energy out there, and I just want to grow my positive energy over other people's bad intentions. I don't know if other people might be a little bit lost or what is going on. But I think that with kindness and perseverance, you can actually go a long way. But it's a fight for good, definitely.
I love it. Kindness, perseverance, bam. And now as we get to the end here, where can people find you? So this is where you plug yourself: website, social. How can they be active and help support what you're doing, or learn more about your incubator? Please share us with your channels.
Sure. So if you go to startupboat.org, we have a form there where you can hand in your project. And then there's also an app that you can sign up with on the App Store and on the Google Play Store, where you can find the next meetups, for example, the next meetups in Miami Hack Week. And yeah, myself, you can find me on Twitter. Still, I'm not one of those who left it yet. LinkedIn, but I would really advise you to actually go for the Startup Boat website or for the app, because that's where our amazing community is. And I wouldn't want to make this just about one person and me, but really connect more people with you if you're interested to actually be supported. And we support with network, with funding, with graphic design. Like, there's tons of things that we do, branding, and yeah, we have amazing partners. One of them is you, thank God. And so the startupboat.org website is the best way to contact us, definitely.
I love it. Paul, thank you so much for your time. I believe it's the one asset we don't get back. So you spending it here with us today, 8 months pregnant, about to pop out your second child, beautiful daughter. God bless there. And, we're so grateful for all the information and all the knowledge you dropped on us today. So everybody, go give Paul a follow, go to, the website, give him a look out. And again, thank you so much for your time and, the impact that you're making in society for people who are stuck in that crazy mode of migration. And it's such an uncertain, there's so much that comes around that's scary. And it's cool that your mission is to help build, a better way. And I'm grateful for you and your work. So thank you.
Thank you very much for being part of the solution. Thank you so much.
Of course, it's my honor. And we're really proud to be able to do that with you. So everybody go give her a follow. Thank you, Paula. And everybody have a great day.
See you soon. Bye-bye.